Welcome to Talking Hockey with Tali and Terry. Tali here, and Terry is in leave of absence right now, but he should be back Sunday. First, we're going to start with the quarterfinal games. The first game we'll start with that Philadelphia was at Pittsburgh. The final score was 4-1, but the surprising part was that Philly had 12 penalties, and only Pittsburgh capitalized on one of those. The stars of the game were the third star Sidney Crosby, the second star Marc-Andre Fleury, the first star Jordan Staal. That brings us to our player of the game was Marc-Andre Fleury with 26 saves, but he did get a 2-minute penalty for tripping. Also a .963 average. And the next game is in progress right now. The next game we'll get to is the Carolina Hurricanes at New Jersey, and that ended up 4-1 for New Jersey. Also, Cam Ward did amazingly as well in net with 35 saves. The third star was Matteau, second Zach Praise, and the first Lungenberger. That brings us to our player of the game was Zach Praise with 1 goal, 1 assist, and 5 shots, equaling 23 shifts, equaling 18 minutes and 19 seconds. When we get back to Talking Hockey with Tali, we'll have more quarterfinal news. Welcome back to Talking Hockey with Tali. The next game we'll get to is the Rangers at Capitals. Surprisingly, the Rangers beat them 4-3. It was a rough, hard penalty game, lots of penalties given out, and Joe Theodore was doing good in the first period, but then started losing his cool and let 4 goals on 21 shots. The 3 stars of that game were Dumpsky, second star was Gomez, and the first was Alex Ovechkin. That brings us to the star of the game, who I thought was Marcus Naslund. He was all over with 1 goal, 1 assist, the +1. But he had 6 penalty minutes with tripping, hooking, and slashing. He had 23 shifts, equaling 15 minutes and 56 seconds. Next game is Saturday at 1 p.m. Next game we'll get to is Montreal at Boston. The final score was 4-2 for Boston. A rough game, like we said, 14 penalties handed out altogether, but the goalies were amazing. The 3 stars were the third star Philip Kessel, second star David Krejci, and the first star Zdeno Chara. Obviously, the start of the game was Zdeno Chara with 1 goal, 1 assist at 0 points, but he had 4 penalty minutes. He had 29 shifts, equaling 28 minutes and 5 seconds. Just like we said, it was a rough game. The next game will be Saturday, the 18th. Oh, sorry about that. Welcome back to Talking Hockey with Tali and Terry. Now let's get to some Western Conference news. The first game of the Western Conference is Columbus and Detroit. The final score was 4-1 Detroit, and Steve Mason was on his game, saving 30 of 31 shots. The 3 stars were Lindstrom, Hudler, and Chris Osgood. That begins us with our player of the game, who was Chris Osgood, saving 20 shots at a .952 save percentage, letting 1 even strength goal in. Their next game is Saturday the 18th at 6 p.m. Next thing we'll get to is Ducks in San Jose. Surprisingly, the Ducks beat them 2-0. Everyone thought Sebastian Jaguar should start that game, but no way. Jonas Hiller was on top of his game. The 3 stars were McDonald, the second star Ryan Getzlaf, and the first star Jonas Hiller. That brings us to our player of the game, actually goalie of the game, Jonas Hiller, with 35 saves with a 1-point average save percentage. First playoff game he played, and it was an excellent. Next game is Sunday the 19th at 10 p.m. And now the next game we'll get to is the Calgary Flames with Chicago Blackhawks, one of the more intense games in the NHL, and it went into overtime, and in the 3-2, Martin Havlat scored with 12 seconds into the first overtime, one of the 3rd fastest in playoff history. Third star was Barker, second was Mike Camilleri, and first was Martin Havlat. And the player of the game was Martin Havlat with 2 goals, a 0 rating, 4 shots, and 27 shifts, equaling 16 minutes and 47 seconds. The quick fact is that, out of all 8 games in the first round, the Calgary Flames Chicago had the most attendance with 22,478 at the United Center. Next game we're going to is St. Louis Blues versus the Vancouver Canucks. A close game as well, 2-1 for Vancouver in that game. The 3 stars were Ryan Kessler, Andy McDonald, and Roberto Luongo. Getting to our star of the game was Daniel with 1 goal, 1 assist, +1 with 6 shots and 28 shifts, equaling 18 minutes and 37 seconds. The next game is in progress. Also we'll talk about our topic of the game and our question. Stay tuned to Talking Hockey with Tali and Terry.
I think Manitoba should have an NHL team.
I think the Winnipeg Jets should return.
I think Seattle should have an NHL team.
Talking Hockey with Tali and Terry, we thank our sponsors, the most watched newscast on Vancouver Island, Check News, and Island 30 with Dana Hutchinson. We'd like to thank our cast for doing today's show, and we'll see you here back Sunday.